Hello, everyone, welcome back to the Strike Point Media channel. Please subscribe and like my videos, because what you are about to hear is one of the most dramatic and shocking developments of this war. Imagine the darkness of night being torn apart by fire, a bridge that has stood as both a symbol of dominance and a lifeline of war suddenly reduced to burning rubble. The Crimean Bridge, once declared indestructible, once celebrated as Russia's engineering pride and logistical artery, is now engulfed in flames. This story is not just about steel and concrete. It is about psychology, power, strategy, and the new reality of modern warfare. Today, we go deep into the heart of this event, uncovering the exterior destruction, the interior meaning, the performance of those behind it, the failure of safety and defense, the unique symbolism that makes it unforgettable, the enormous price to be paid, and finally the conclusion that a new phase of this war has begun and the world is watching with fear and fascination. From the first images, the exterior leaves you breathless. The bridge spans the water like a scar across the sea, and suddenly that scar is burning bright. Flames stretch upward like pillars, smoke curls into the sky in black waves, and entire lanes of concrete buckle under the weight of destruction. Vehicles are left frozen, drivers stunned, their journey transformed into a nightmare. To see the exterior of a bridge, once considered untouchable, now scarred by explosions, is to realize how fragile even the most powerful structures truly are. From every angle, the sight is devastating. The twisted rail lines where fuel wagons caught fire, the glowing steel frames that collapse like broken bones, and the eerie reflection of orange flames dancing across the water's surface. This exterior is the face of war stripped bare, fire, chaos, and destruction visible to all. Yet if the outside burns, the inside tells a bigger story. The interior of the Crimean Bridge is not just beams and asphalt. It is the artery that carried life into occupied Crimea. It was the main channel for military convoys, for the movement of tanks, missiles, ammunition, fuel, and soldiers. Inside this bridge lay the confidence of a nation that believed it had secured a permanent link to a contested territory. When the interior is ripped apart, the effect is enormous. The flow of supplies is suddenly strained, strategies are forced into recalculation, and commanders lose the certainty of their strongest logistical line. The interior is big, so big that it reshapes the conflict itself. Inside those flames lies the morale of troops waiting for supplies, the fear of civilians wondering how long the lifeline will last, and the heavy burden on leaders who must admit that what was thought to be safe is now in ruins. The interior story is the true power of this strike. It cuts deep where the war machine breathes. Then comes performance. Every act of war is judged by its performance, and here the execution has stunned analysts. To strike such a heavily guarded, strategically important structure shows precision, planning, and daring. Was it drones navigating the dark sky with accuracy beyond expectation? Was it missiles slipping past layered defenses? Was it sabotage carefully staged from within? Whatever the method, the performance was impeccable in its boldness. The timing, the impact, and the scale of damage were more than symbolic. They were strategic. Ukraine has demonstrated that it can hit where it hurts most, and that performance echoes far beyond the battlefield. On the other side, Russia's performance is questioned. Billions spent on fortifying the bridge, advanced missile shields, patrols, and defenses, yet all crumbled in the face of a single devastating strike. The performance gap between attacker and defender is revealed, and the world now measures the balance of this war in new terms. Safety was always promised. The Crimean Bridge was declared secure, reinforced, untouchable. It was built with layers of steel, concrete, and technology designed to withstand both nature and man, but when fire engulfed it, those promises collapsed with the beams. The safety features proved to be illusions, the defense's paper shields against the harsh reality of modern precision strikes. Safety also means the protection of civilians, yet as cars burned and drivers sat trapped in smoke and flame, the fragility of safety was brutally exposed. For Russia, the loss is not only in concrete but in credibility. For Ukraine, the strike shows that safety for the occupiers is a myth. And for the world, the failure of safety on this bridge is a grim reminder. No place in war is truly safe, no matter how much steel and concrete you build. The unique selling point of this moment is not measured in technology or strategy alone. It is the symbolism. Every war has its symbols. The raising of flags, the fall of walls, the destruction of monuments. The Crimean Bridge burning becomes one of those unforgettable images, a symbol of vulnerability and defiance. For Ukraine, it is a declaration: we can strike at your core, we can turn your pride into ash. For Russia, it is a humiliation, the crumbling of an icon that was meant to represent permanence and victory. The uniqueness of this event lies in its psychological weight. It is not just another attack, it is a message to the world that even the most sacred structures of war can fall. That is the selling point of this story. It sells the idea of resilience and determination for one side and exposes the fragility of power for the other. But every unique selling point comes with a price. The Crimean Bridge cost billions to build, billions to maintain, and now will cost billions more to repair or perhaps rebuild. Yet the price runs deeper. The human cost appears in the lives disrupted, the soldiers cut off from supplies, the civilians left in fear. The political price is enormous. Leaders must answer for failure, commanders must rethink entire campaigns, and alliances must weigh the growing escalation. For Ukraine, the price of daring is the risk of retaliation. Each strike escalates the danger. Each act invites greater destruction in return. The price is paid in international diplomacy, in economic ripple effects, in the rising cost of war that bleeds into every corner of the world. The flames on the bridge are fueled not only by explosives, but by the heavy price of ambition, resistance, and survival. The conclusion is unshakable. This is not just another day of war, not just another battle lost or won. The Crimean Bridge burning marks a new phase, a turning point. The exterior shows us destruction that shocks the eyes. The interior reveals disruption that shakes strategies. The performance proves precision and daring. The safety failures expose weakness. The unique symbolism changes morale. And the price underscores the enormous stakes of this conflict. Together, they weave a conclusion that the war has entered uncharted territory. It is no longer about front lines alone. It is about striking deep into the heart, about reshaping perceptions, about rewriting what is possible. As the flames fade into smoke, the world is left with questions. How will Russia respond? Will Ukraine press further? Will global powers intervene or stand back? Will this moment lead to negotiations or to even greater escalation? These questions burn as fiercely as the bridge itself. For civilians on both sides, the fear grows. For soldiers, the uncertainty deepens. And for leaders, the burden becomes heavier. The Crimean Bridge in flames is not only a military event. It is a story that will echo through history as the day when a new phase of the war began. The day when the unbreakable broke, when pride turned into ash, when strategy was forced to change, and when the world saw that nothing is untouchable. That is why this story matters, why it will be studied, debated, and remembered. It is more than an explosion. It is more than a fire. It is a symbol of the times we live in, an era where wars are fought not only with weapons but with images, where the burning of a bridge can shake the balance of global power. And so, as we bring this story to you, we remind you that history unfolds in real time, that every event is a page being written before our eyes. The Crimean Bridge burning is today's chapter. Tomorrow's will come with new fire, new struggle, and new hope for resolution. Stay with us here on Strike Point Media as we continue to follow every turn, every flame, every moment that defines this war. Subscribe, share, and let your voice be part of the story, because this war is not far away. It is shaping the world we all live in.